Hi, Fritz Coleman here to give you your water forecast for California and beautiful Orange County. We had some real highs and lows this past year, extreme weather patterns. At this same time last year, 83% of California was in severe drought during a punishing 5-year dry spell. This season's record rainfall has left less than 8% of California in drought. What a difference a year makes, folks. We experienced some severe thunderstorms in February 2017 that wreaked havoc on Oroville Dam's emergency spillway and called for a flood warning, causing 150,000 people to be evacuated. Thankfully, it held up and everyone was safe. California is now on heightened alert that its water infrastructure may not be as sound as we thought it was or should be, which means we're seeing increased pressure on these areas of the country to get funding for the California water projects. Are Californians willing to pass another water bond so soon after the passage of Prop 1? Will California get its fair share of U.S. funding? Only time will tell. While Northerners were grappling with Oroville, Southern California was able to rely on Prado Dam. Thanks to a deviation from the Army Corps of Engineers, additional stormwater was captured behind the dam and slowly released down the Santa Ana River into recharge basins and ultimately into the Orange County groundwater basin. Projections are looking good that we will be able to store water behind the dam at 505 feet above mean sea level year-round in the very near future. If you're a skier, one of the millions of people who rely on water delivered from Northern California, then you were relieved to hear that the state snowpack is at 198% of the average. On average, the snowpack supplies about 30% of California's water needs as it melts in the spring and early summer. Interested in more on the water supply front? Water levels in Lake Oroville, the state water project's principal reservoir, are at 101% of the average level. Moving that snowmelt safely to the Central Valley and to Southern California is a whole other issue. The 50-year-old water infrastructure that moves this water is outdated, unreliable, and dependent on levees that put our clean water supply at risk from earthquakes and sea level rise. About 100 alternatives have been explored since 2009. 100. Alas, the California water fix emerged as the likely solution to the problem. Price tag for the dual tunnel fix, $17 billion. Water reliability does not come for free. In 2016, we saw the completion of significant environmental work for the fix. Will the fix our fix on imported water? Now that's a mouthful. We are fixated to know what will happen. Stay tuned. We also saw a thick marine layer of confusion on consumers' faces as they were asked to cut back water usage but pay more for water. The average Californian used just 58.1 gallons of water a day in January 2017. That is the lowest residential use since the state started tracking usage in 2014. Congratulations, Californians. You stepped up, now pay up? Very confusing message. Water districts had to explain rate structures and make compelling arguments for the increases even when consumers were using less water. Some agencies were more successful than others, but bottom line, some trust was lost. We also saw some onshore and offshore flows in Carlsbad and northern and central Orange County as a desal project and initial expansion of the groundwater replenishment system were in full swing to help local communities weather the relentless drought and offset what Mother Nature couldn't deliver. Projections look good for local reliability as the final expansion of the GWRS is designed, and it looks a little cloudy with a possible chance of building a desal project in Huntington Beach. We'll know more when the coastal eddies, the commission, makes some key decisions later this year. There was a refreshing gust of wind when the State Water Resources Control Board concluded that it is feasible to use recycled water directly as drinking water, provided that certain research and key knowledge gaps are addressed. It looks promising that regs will be passed soon. But then we got a little bit of the cold shoulder from the board when communities were not given full credit for water recycling when meeting conservation mandates. Ultimately, conditions warmed up and OC was able to get credit for its infrastructure investments and not only meet the emergency drought mandates, but often exceed them. Now let's take a look at our rainfall figures, shall we? Average rainfall in Orange County is 14 inches. We started the decade off real strong at 21 inches, and then it just went downhill from there. 7 years later, we're beginning to see an uptick with almost 20 inches of rain so far in 2017. We just have to make up for what we didn't get over the last 6 years. No sweat. We'll just put in that request with Mother Nature. Moving on to the groundwater front. Orange County groundwater demands are rising. Currently, local retail agencies need 380,000 acre-feet of water. Their demand is projected to increase to 425,000 acre-feet by 2019-2020. In terms of supplies available to put back into the groundwater basin, this fiscal year we have about 437,000 acre-feet of water, and an estimated 57,000 feet of that will be untouched to help refill the basin. In 2019-2020, we'll still be able to bank some water in the basin, but only about 11,000 acre-feet because of the increased demands and because we're assuming an average winter. So folks, what does this all mean? We can only predict so much of what Mother Nature has in store for us. We have to prepare for the dry years and prepare to capture and move as much water as we can during the good years. We have to plan well in advance to meet future water demands. If we all keep using water wisely and look to new technologies like reuse and desal to bring clean and reliable water to California and Orange County, then our future is looking sunny and bright with a chance of just a few showers. Back to you now to do your part to conserve water and engage in water decisions happening in your community.